Hello and welcome. We're delighted to have you join us on African News 24 TV, bringing you the latest news, reports and updates. I'm Mary Adam. Let's begin with the highlights. Chaos as two factions of the People's Democratic Party clash at party's national secretariat. Another schoolgirl escapes after abduction by gunmen in Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School, MAGA, in KOGI. A major outage at global internet infrastructure provider Cloudflare disrupts internet services in Nigeria and many other countries. Let's dive into the bulletin with the drama and chaos today at the National Secretariat of the People's Democratic Party, where two opposing factions clashed for the ownership of the Secretariat amid the party's leadership crisis. Our next report captures the atmosphere.
Chaos engulfed the People's Democratic Party at its National Secretariat, WADA Plaza in Abuja, as rival factions clash over control of the party machinery, exposing deep rifts ahead of the 2027 general elections. The crisis ignited following the suspension of Factional National Secretary Senator Samuel Anyanwu, FCT Minister Nyesom WIKE and others who have openly challenged party leaders he accuses of reneging on earlier agreement. Tensions flared when WIKE was initially barred from entering the secretariat, triggering confrontation between supporters of the opposing camps. He eventually gained access after a tense standoff. Shortly after, chairman of the PDP Governors Forum, Bala Mohammed, Oyo State Governor MAKINDE, and the newly elected factional PDP national chairman, Kabiru Turaki, and other supporters were also blocked before finally being allowed entry. Anyanwu affirmed that his office as National Secretary remains functional until December 8, 2025, insisting that the Board of Trustees meetings must proceed. Police fired tear gas to disperse the crowd, and security around the secretariat was heightened. Amid the chaos, a PDP supporter was reportedly arrested, and party members were seen shielding themselves from lingering fumes. The National Working Committee, led by Turaki and those loyal to WIKE, are battling for the control of the PDP, leaving the party sharply divided and raising doubts about the readiness for the future election.
Meanwhile, a day before this pandemonium, the factional national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Tanimu Turaki, had visited the FCT Police Command in Abuja to inform security authorities of a scheduled party meeting. He described the gathering as the inaugural meeting following their National Elective Convention in Ibadan. Turaki raised concerns over an alleged notice circulating on social media about a Board of Trustees and National Executive Committee meeting, which he said was issued by individuals no longer affiliated with the party. He emphasized that his faction reported the matter to the police to prevent any potential breach of peace. The controversy in the PDP is taking another dimension, as a faction of the party backed by the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom WIKE, has approved the expulsion of several governors and key party figures over alleged anti-party activities. Those approved for expulsion from PDP include the governors Seyi Makinde of Oyo State, Bala Mohammed of Bauchi, and Dauda Lawal of Zamfara. Others are the former Board of Trustees Chair Adolphus Wabara, the factional PDP National Chairman and the Deputy National Chairman Taufik Arakpaja, among others. The factional group ratified the decision at its 103rd meeting today at the National Party's headquarters in Abuja. Factional Acting National Chairman Mohammed Abdurrahman said the decision becomes important due to repeated violations of existing court orders. The governor of Bauchi State, Bala Mohammed, is accusing some members of the People's Democratic Party of being responsible for the crisis facing the party. The governor was speaking at the headquarters of the party when he, with his Oyo State counterpart, Seyi Makinde, went to the party's secretariat with the new factional chairman of the party. For the new factional chairman, Kabiru Turaki, he seeks intervention to help the party perform its roles. The Taraba State chapter of the People's Democratic Party is in crisis following the resignation of its chairman Abubakar Bawa. Bawa stepped down, citing internal disagreements and the need for the party to regroup. The announcement has sparked discussions among party members and political observers about the future leadership of the PDP in the state. Bawa said, and I quote, "After careful consideration, I have decided to step down to allow the party to move forward and address internal challenges." End of quote. He adds that the resignation comes at a critical time and the party must quickly reorganize ahead of upcoming elections. Nigeria's political landscape continues to shift as another significant wave of defections has hit the People's Democratic Party, with senior figures at both state and national levels moving to the All Progressives Congress. The latest development is from Taraba, where the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Kizito Bozena, has led 15 lawmakers in carpet crossing from the PDP to the APC. We have more on this report.
The political landscape in Taraba State has taken a dramatic turn as the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Kizito Bozena, has officially defected from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressive Congress. The Speaker defected to the APC alongside 15 other lawmakers who also announced their defection during plenary in Jalingo, the capital of Taraba State, on Monday. Their decision followed what they described as deep divisions within the PDP and the need to align with the APC for what they believe is the best interest of their constituencies. Those who defected include principal officers of the House and representatives from constituencies across Bali, Wukari, Komi, Gazol, Lao, and others. With these developments, the APC now holds majority control in the Taraba State House of Assembly, a shift expected to influence legislative direction in the months ahead. The lawmakers emphasized that their move to the APC was made collectively and aimed at fostering unity and development across the state. The lawmakers' defection comes ahead of the planned defection of Governor Abdulkefas to the APC on Wednesday, November 19th.
Former Governor of KOGI State, IDRIS WADA, and several opposition figures formally joined the All Progressive Congress. Their defection comes amid a massive reception attended by top party leaders, including Vice President Kashim Shettima. We have more in this report.
A massive crowd of APC supporters gather here in Lokoja, the Kogi State capital, as former governor of Kogi State, Idris Wada, who led the state between 2012 and 2016, officially joins the All Progressive Congress. Wada, once a prominent figure in the PDP, arrived with top opposition stakeholders and their large base of followers. Welcoming the new entrant, Governor Usman Ododo declared that the opposition in Kogi State has been completely weakened, highlighting President Bola Tinubu's recent approval of the Kogi Free Trade Zone. He described it as a transformational project that will energize the state's economic future.
Today's event has cleared those doubts that Kogi is APC and APC is Kogi State. The president of our nation, our leader, has just granted approval and declaration of our free trade zone. Investors are already online to collaborate with us to unlock our potential. He has no opposition come 2027 as far as Kogi State is concerned.
The APC National Chairman Netawe Iwada also used the occasion to talk about the strength of the APC, which he says remains focused on steering Nigeria to recovery before officially welcoming the defector into the party.
I'm pleased to present to you the former governor of Kogi State, His Excellency Captain Idris Wada, who is moving from the sinking ship to become a progressive.
Vice President Kashim Shettima described the defection as the beginning of a fresh political era for Kogi State.
To our new members, I say welcome. You have joined a family that thrives on service. You have joined a platform that values your experience. We We shall deepen peace in KOGI State. We shall expand development in KOGI State.
Political analysts believe that the political climate in the state could heat up in the days ahead, especially as the 2027 general election race is already underway.
And away from politics, and on a rather sad note, the senior Nigerian Army officer, Brigadier General M. Uba, who was abducted last week by terrorists, have reportedly been killed. General Uba was reportedly killed by members of the Islamic State West Africa province in Borno State. He was killed after the ambush of a convoy of soldiers and operatives of the Civilian Joint Task Force along the Damboa-Biu axis in Borno State. The terrorists ambushed the troops last Friday when they were transporting some military equipment. The ISWAP fighters reportedly opened fire on the military convoy along the road, leading to a gun duel between the troops and the insurgents. The army, however, debunked reports that the brigade commander was abducted, stressing that such reports were false and misleading. The army added that 2 CJTF operatives and 2 soldiers were killed during the gun battle. However, Reuters reported that ISWAP executed Uba after he was captured. The terrorist group has claimed responsibility for the ambush and said it had executed the military general. A schoolgirl has escaped after being abducted from Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School in Maga, KEBBI State, Nigeria, while 24 other students remain in captivity. During the attack on the school yesterday, the vice principal was killed by the gunmen while trying to protect the girls. The escaped students, one of 25 abducted, fled through forests and arrived home safely. According to school principal Musa Rabi Magaji, another student not among the 25 also escaped earlier. The KEBBI state government has warned that bandits have started indoctrinating abducted students, adding to the urgency of the situation. Meanwhile, the federal government has condemned the attack on the Government Girls Comprehensive Senior Secondary School Maga in KEBBI State, where 25 schoolgirls have been reportedly abducted by gunmen. Aside from the abduction, the gunmen also killed the vice principal of the school who was trying to protect the girls. In a statement signed by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, MOHAMMED IDRIS, the federal government said security and intelligence agencies have been given clear directives to locate, rescue, and safely return the students, and to ensure that the perpetrators are brought to justice. The government expressed deep concern and solidarity with the families of the abducted students, saying it shares in their pain and remains firmly committed to securing the release of the girls. And the Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawale, has called for collaboration among security agencies to bring the perpetrators of the Dasas Day Act to justice and rescue the abducted schoolgirls. The minister condemned the attack, describing it as unacceptable. The minister, in a statement signed by his spokesperson, noted that the government under President Bola Tinubu has directed prompt action by security agencies so that the girls are released unharmed. He calls for calm in the affected communities. Still on the abduction, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Wide Shuaibu, is in KEBBI State, where he has directed the troops of Operation Fasan Yama to intensify efforts to rescue the abducted schoolgirls from Government Girls Comprehensive Senior Secondary School Maga. Shuaibu, during a tour of the state, addressed frontline commanders and troops, whom he charged to conduct intelligence-driven operations and maintain a night-and-day pursuit of the abductors. The Corps also met with local vigilantes and hunters, whom he described as critical partners in the operation. He enjoins them to take advantage of the knowledge of the terrain and collaborate with troops to rescue the girls. More promises of rescue of the schoolgirls as the state governor, Nasir Idris, has assured the parents of the abducted schoolgirls of safe return of their children. The governor was speaking after visiting the school for an on-the-spot assessment of the situation. According to the governor, and I quote, "We gave them confidence and we gave them our word that we will do everything possible to ensure that their children are rescued," end of quote. In a related development, 45 kidnapped persons in Katsina State have been released. The victims, who were reportedly freed under a peace deal with bandits, were abducted from Guga in Doguwa, Dorawa Fulani settlement and Gindandam Mayaki village in Bakuri local government area of Katsina State. After weeks in captivity, the victims, who were both men and women, were reportedly released following negotiations under the Operation Safe Corridor Peace Accord with a notorious bandit leader known as Isiya Kwanshin Garwa. In a quick reaction, the Emir of Kano, Mohammed Sanusi II, has called on the people of Katsina State who are entering into peace agreements with bandits to ensure that they do not include the right to attack neighboring communities. Sanusi wants them to ensure that the government do not extend their terror to neighboring states. The traditional ruler was speaking during a tour of communities recently attacked by bandits in the Bawai and Shanono local government areas of Kano State. Away from that, the House of Representatives has begun a public hearing on a bill that would mandate 15% women representation in police recruitment and introduce gender-inclusive reforms across the force. We have more in this report.
Efforts to address the long-standing gender imbalance in Nigeria police force took center stage in Abuja, as lawmakers opened a public hearing aimed at correcting decades of underrepresentation of women within the system. The section focuses on a proposed amendment to the Nigerian Police Act, which would propel the police to recruit no less than 15% women, while also introducing gender-sensitive reforms across training, deployment, disciplinary structures, and career advancement.
The amendment will promote the recruitment, promotion, and creation of friendly working environment for women.
Lawmakers insist the bill is grounded in fairness, noting that a balanced police structure will not only improve efficiency, but also mirror the diversity of the society it is meant to protect.
This bill seeks to justice, fairness, and the recognition that effective policing must draw strength from diversity.
Inserting the provisions that will address gender historical gaps and discriminatory provisions affecting women in the police force.
Women with disabilities face unique challenges, and deliberate inclusion is necessary to address their exclusion from governance and policy making.
Experts note that improved female representation does more than create balance. It also enhances the handling of gender-based violence and sensitive cases, where victims often feel more protected and confident speaking with a female officer.
The First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, has stepped up Nigeria's fight against cervical cancer with a donation of 1 billion naira. The contribution, made through her Renewed Hope initiative, will fund nationwide screening, vaccination, and treatment programs.
Hunger and malnutrition continue to affect millions of Nigerians, with children and mothers among the most vulnerable, which shows that nearly 25 million Nigerians face food insecurity each year. Bubemi Uba, General Manager of the Fundraising and Resource Mobilization, during the unveiling of the organization Nutrition Advocacy Plan in Abuja, highlighted the scale of the crisis, stressing that malnutrition is not only a health issue, but a developmental challenge that...
First Lady of Nigeria, Oluremi Tinubu, has stepped up Nigeria's fight against cervical cancer with a donation of 1 billion naira. The donation, made through her Renewed Hope initiative, will fund nationwide screening, vaccination, and treatment programs. Health officials say the donation will help more women access early detection and timely treatment, which are critical to saving lives. The First Lady emphasized the importance of partnership, urging government agencies, private organizations, and non-governmental groups to work together to eliminate cervical cancer in Nigeria.
Following the inauguration of this task force, strategic partnership to eliminate cervical cancer was formed in the country, and the launch of partnership to eliminate cervical cancer in Nigeria is another landmark achievement of the task force. Through the coordinated activities of PACing, that's the the partnership acronym, the task force aims to achieve the double aid goal.
We want you to go out there to help us broadcast the news, let men know about it. Information is very, very key in management of cancer.
Officials hope that with continued support and public awareness, cervical cancer can be reduced significantly, saving thousands of lives in coming years.
In other news, over 25 million Nigerians, especially children and mothers, continue to face hunger and malnutrition annually. The Nigerian Red Cross Society warns that this crisis undermines health, education, and national development. The new program set to be launched is aimed at tackling food insecurity by rehabilitating water points, restoring livelihoods, and promoting climate-smart, nutrition-sensitive farming practices. We have more in this next report.
Hunger and malnutrition continue to affect millions of Nigerians, with children and mothers among the most vulnerable, which shows that nearly 25 million Nigerians face food insecurity each year. Bubemi Uba, General Manager of the Fundraising and Resource Mobilization, during the unveiling of the organization Nutrition Advocacy Plan in Abuja, highlighted the scale of the crisis, stressing that malnutrition is not only a health issue, but a developmental challenge that undermines education, productivity, and national growth.
According to recent reports, nearly 25 million Nigerians face food insecurity annually, with children under 5 most vulnerable to stunting and wasting.
Secretary General of the Nigerian Red Cross Society, Abubakar Kende, explained that the society's new program is designed to break the cycle of crisis through a comprehensive approach, combining early intervention with long-term developmental strategies.
The initiative emphasizes the rehabilitation of water points, recovery of key livelihoods, assets, and promotion of climate-smart and nutrition-sensitive agricultural practice.
The initiative will prioritize rehabilitating water points, restoring key livelihood, and promoting climate-smart and nutrition-sensitive agricultural practices. The society called on government, private sector, and community stakeholders to support the initiative, stressing that coordinated action is critical to achieving lasting solutions to the nation's hunger and malnutrition challenges.
Nigeria and Turkey are moving to strengthen diplomatic and economic ties, with plans on the way to establish a Turkish consulate in Lagos. The announcement came during a meeting between Turkish Ambassador Mehmet Poray and FCT Minister Nyesom WIKE in Abuja, highlighting ongoing collaboration between the two countries. Both sides expressed optimism about deepening strategic partnership, with the FCT administration pledging support for initiatives that promote economic cooperation. We have more in this report.
Turkey is reaffirming its commitment to strengthening diplomatic and economic ties with Nigeria. Its Ambassador Mehmet Poray, during a courtesy visit to the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom WIKE, gives the progress of the plan to establish a consulate general in Lagos. According to the Turkish ambassador, the process is currently at the final bureaucratic stage, adding that Turkey's 2 commercial councillors in Nigeria remain actively engaged in supporting bilateral cooperation.
Work with my authorities at this moment in order to open concretely our Consul General in Lagos. We have taken the decision. Now we are at the stage of completing the bureaucratic process, internal process. This will be also an important step in the future.
The Minister of the FCT, Nyesom WIKE, described the relationship between Nigeria and Turkey as cordial and economically beneficial, noting that both nations are eager to deepen strategic collaboration.
The relationship between Turkey and Nigeria has been very cordial, and our economic relationship has also been very commendable, and we want to improve on it. So we think we can partner with you. If there are things in particular you believe that you need of assistance from the administration, do not hesitate to approach us. We will be able to help.
With both sides expressing optimism, the meeting signaled renewed momentum toward expanding diplomatic presence and boosting bilateral economic cooperation in the months ahead.
A major outage at global internet infrastructure provider Cloudflare on Tuesday caused widespread disruptions to online platforms across Nigeria and several other countries. The outage, which began at about 12:30 p.m. on Tuesday, knocked many popular websites and applications offline, leaving users unable to access services or encountering repeated error messages. The disruption affected key platforms that rely on Cloudflare systems to stay online. Social media services, streaming sites, financial platforms, and communication tools experienced significant downtime, with many users reporting 500 internal server error messages during the outage. Cloudflare's internal systems were also impacted, slowing down recovery efforts. Technical teams worked to stabilize the network and gradually restore services, with partial recovery recorded as traffic resumed through some of the company's infrastructure. Early assessments indicated that the outage was triggered by an unusual surge in the traffic that led to service degradation. Cloudflare reported no evidence of a security breach, and normal operations continued, returning progressively as remediation efforts advanced. Let's go on a break now. When we return, we will tell you how Bitcoin is performing. That will be on business. Welcome back. Let's join Praise Adeleke. She has the figures in the world of business.
Thank you. Welcome to business. Let's begin with the news of Bitcoin falling to about $89,953 today, slipping below the $90,000 mark for the first time in 7 months and raising all its gains for 2025. The decline leaves the cryptocurrency nearly 30% lower than its October peak. Analysts attribute the slump to fading interest of U.S. interest rate cuts and renewed weakness across global markets. Crypto-linked stocks, including Riot Platforms, Mara Holdings, and Coinbase, fell alongside Bitcoin. The broader downturn has revived concerns that further weakness in crypto could cripple into wider financial markets. The Nigeria's African trade has hit 4.82 trillion naira in the first half of 2025. According to Nigeria Customs Service, Nigeria trade with other African countries rose sharply to 4.82 trillion naira. Controller General Bashir Adewale Adeniyi announced the figures at the CPACT meeting in Abuja. Adeniyi said the forum drew senior custom officials, diplomats, and over 70 private sector leaders, noting that Nigeria's exports to ECOWAS countries have also increased, strengthening the nation's role in regional trade. He urged stronger custom modernization and deliberate implementation of African Continental Free Trade Area, stressing that the agreement can only succeed through coordinated African-led effort and solid institutional commitment. And that will be all for now. It's back to you for the rest of the bulletin.
Thank you, Praise. And on the foreign scene, United States President Donald Trump has unveiled special fast-track visas for people with tickets to the 2026 World Cup. He said, and I quote, "For those who intend to join us for the World Cup, I strongly encourage you to apply right away." Trump said as he announced the scheme in the Oval Office with FIFA President Gianni Infantino. The United States government has promised a seamless experience for the 2026 World Cup despite concerns that Trump's border crackdown could hurt fans. Infantino, who has repeatedly appeared at Trump's side since the Republicans returned to the White House in January, said the so-called FIFA pass was a very important announcement. United States Secretary of State Marco Rubio, however, said the visa unveiling was not a guarantee of entry to the United States. Trump has made the World Cup a centerpiece event of both his second presidency and the 250th anniversary of U.S. independence next year. The draw for the World Cup is due to take place in Washington on December 5, 2025. FIFA will present a new Peace Prize on the same day, with widespread speculation that it could go to Trump. Ukraine is set to receive up to 100 Rafale F-4 fighter jets and advanced air defense systems from France in a landmark agreement aimed at strengthening Kyiv's defenses against ongoing Russian attacks. President Volodymyr Zelensky described the deal as historic after signing a letter of intent with French President Emmanuel Macron at an air base near Paris. Under the plan, deliveries of the Rafale F-4 aircraft will be completed by 2035, while joint production of interceptor drones is scheduled to begin this year. Although financial terms remain unresolved, reports suggest France intends to seek EU's funding and tap into frozen Russian assets to support the initiative, a proposal that has sparked division among the 27-member bloc. Temitayo Tenyola will be taking you in the world of sports. Over to you, Temitayo.
Thank you and welcome to Sport. On the first news, respected transfer expert Fabrizio Romano has dismissed reports linking Super Eagles forward Ademola Lookman with a January move to Turkish club Galatasaray. Speaking on his YouTube channel, Romano said there is no agreement between Galatasaray, Lookman or his club Atlanta, despite growing speculations. He confirmed that Galatasaray are interested in the 28-year-old, but noted that Lookman is only one of the several targets the club is considering. Romano added that no formal negotiations have begun and any move will depend on decisions from both the player and Atlanta. Lookman, whose contract runs until 2027, has attracted attention across Europe following a difficult summer and tension under former Atlanta coach Ivan Juric. With a new manager now in place, any club hoping to sign Lookman in January would need to table a substantial offer. Meanwhile, Germany and Netherlands sealed their spot at the 2026 FIFA World Cup on Monday with a big win. Germany slashed Slovakia 6-0, while Dutch team beat Lithuania 4-0 to top their goal. Slovakia and Poland finished second in their group to reach the match playoff. Northern Ireland also made the playoff despite ending third. However, their earlier Nation League performance earned them a playoff record. Croatia edged Montenegro 3-0 and Czech Republic beat Gibraltar 6-0. German coach Julian Nagelsmann said his team delivered the level of quality expected on the world stage. And that's all on Sport at this hour. It's back to you for the rest of the news. Thank you and welcome to Sport. On the first news,
Thank you, Temitayo. Let's move over to entertainment. Edith Lawrence is standing by. Over to you, Edith.
Thank you and welcome to Entertainment News. Music producer and singer Young John has set the industry talking again with the release of his 21-track sophomore album, Blue Disco. The project landed with an impressive list of collaborators including Wizkid, Rema and Asake, and listeners have already started pulling out early favorites as clips and reactions move quickly across social media. The new album is already drawing strong attention, partly because of the star power involved and partly because fans have been curious about how Young John would follow up his first project. Early listeners says Blue Disco leans into his familiar upbeat, melodic style but still shows a bit more range than before. And the online chatter suggests it could become one of the notable releases of the season as more tracks begin to catch on and the momentum grows. Moving on, Wizkid has stirred up fresh anticipation after teasing a new single titled Easy With Me. A collaboration with Odumodu Black expected to drop this Friday. The preview surfaced in a short clip shared online, and within minutes, fans began circulating it across multiple platforms. Many were caught by surprise at the link-up, especially since both artists operate in very different lanes musically. The buzz has been growing steadily as listeners try to imagine how Wizkid's calm, laid-back delivery would blend with Odumodu's bold street influence style. Early reactions suggest people are curious to hear what direction the track takes, and whether it leans more towards Wizkid's softer sound or Odumodu's heavier approach. With Friday approaching, the conversation around the teaser keeps picking up, adding more momentum to what is already shaping into a highly expected release. And that's it on entertainment news. It's back to you for the rest of the bulletin. Thank you and welcome to
Thank you, Edith. And that's all we have for now. Thank you for staying with us on African News 24 TV. Don't forget to follow us across all social media platforms displayed on your screen. And visit our website at africannews24.ng to stay informed and ahead. We'll be back with more updates in our next broadcast. I'm Mary Adam. Bye for now.